There was a Fox Business poll on 9/18 that showed Trump up in Iowa 46, Ron DeSantis in number 2 at 15. So he's up 31 points. There is a poll that just hit a day or two ago out of University of New Hampshire. Well, these are the first two, the first caucus and the first primary in the contest, showing Donald Trump at 39%. Vivek is in second at 13. Nikki Haley's in third at 12. Chris Christie's in fourth. I mean, he's putting it all in New Hampshire, but he's fourth at 11. DeSantis is in fifth place at 10. He's down 13 from the last poll, which I think was a month ago. So DeSantis in fifth in Iowa, and Trump still dominating everybody at 39 and dominating everybody in Iowa, where he hasn't done a ton of campaigning. I mean, I will show the audience just this. I mean, it doesn't matter that he hasn't done a lot of campaigning. They know him. He was president. He won Iowa. And here's just a clip of Trump entering an Iowa bar the other day. Take a look at the hero's welcome he got.
Crowd here saying we want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump.
The man's a legend. Just as an aside, something funny. Somebody tweeted out, there was a waitress there, a bartender. She had like a tank top on, kind of like what I'm wearing. Yeah, and she wanted Trump to sign, kind of right here with a magic marker. So he did it. And honestly, on Twitter, they're like, look how inappropriate he was. Carol Swain, who I love, she's like,
really?
She was literally asking for it. Like that term she was literally asking for it. My God, calm down. The point is he's crushing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this is my bill. So the point is he's crushing. So, and I want to get to your experience with Trump because now it seems to me Trump with these numbers is pivoting to the general. He's kind of moving past everybody else in the field. He's not debating. Wall Street Journal had a piece out this week suggesting he's too scared. I don't know what his reason is, but I see his point. He's up, 30, 40, in some polls, 50 points. Does he really need to debate? Does he, whatever. I see the point. So he's pivoting to the general, and he's looking good there too. The polls this week showed him up 4 over Joe Biden. Joe Biden's numbers are precipitously low and falling. The vast majority of Americans think he's too old to be president. There was just yet another new poll on that. I'll read it to you. I'm building up towards something here. This is 1/3 of Americans, according to the latest CBS News YouGov poll, think Joe Biden can finish his second term. Only 1/3. 2/3 do not believe he could finish a second term. That's unbelievable. So all that brings me to this. And you heard Tucker ask Trump about it when he interviewed him. Whether Trump is worried, whether there's a realistic possibility the left is going to so melt down as his power rises, as he rises toward a second term, that they try to do something to him, God forbid, or that they try to do something to our country. That the riots we saw around BLM, that, the total overreaction we saw to basically everything surrounding Trump, but certainly the way they describe January 6th as the new 9/11, right? All those things are going to culminate in some sort of like serious meltdown for our country.
All right. Well, there's a lot in there, and the response is going to be a little troubling to people. And if we make news with this, then we make news, because I don't say anything I can't back up, unlike the media and the journalists that do. On the first point about will the liberals do something crazy, the answer is yeah, I'm afraid of that. And listen, I'm begging you, matter of fact, I'm begging you to fact check me on this, because any good reporter, that's a word, who's reporting on the facts will ask you to do it, because it only adds to their veracity and their authenticity. There's a thing called the Democracy Integrity Project. They put it out before the 2020 election. The gist of it was a bunch of anti-Trumpers and liberals basically on this project. You can look it up yourself. I'm not sure if it's page 27 or wherever it is, but it's in there if you read through it. They talk about what they're going to do and how to take back the election. Basically, if Trump were to win or there's any kind of squabble about the results, And they mentioned that it's going to turn into a street fight. Now, Megyn, in case you think they're playing like a euphemisms game, and they don't really mean a street fight. They're very clear, and they say not a legal one. They mean an actual street fight. You again, don't read it yourself. So the idea that the left, if they would have, say, lost the 2020 election, would have gone crazy and there would have been riots in the streets, that the idea that that's nuts is not backed up by the actual facts, where they were promoting this stuff and had rioted in the streets with Antifa and BLM. So I mean, I don't know what, I can't prove a counterfactual because Joe Biden's butt is in this Resolute sitting in the Oval Office right now. But the fact that the left might have went insane is just backed up by the facts. Just look at what they were promoting. This wasn't, by the way, some tomato can group of ham and eggers here. This was like, I mean, higher ups in the Democrat Party promoting this stuff, that it was going to be a street fight, quote, not a legal one. Then notice the qualifier. They weren't kidding. Second, Tucker asked the question, and I'm believe me, I'm not trying to one-up Tucker at all. He's a friend. You're a friend. I'm not in any way trying to. But I had said this months earlier on my podcast. Tucker must be talking to some of the same people I was. The threats against Donald Trump's life are very real. Now, because the left cares so little about Donald Trump and doesn't want to make him a martyr, which, by the way, wasn't my intention of doing that podcast, now infamous on the left 3 months ago about the threats to Donald Trump's life. I didn't do it to make the guy a martyr. I did it because I may, Megyn, just know a little bit about this. I mean, I only did it for 12 years. And I may know some people, let's just say, in the business who are fighting every day with Secret Service headquarters over basic security mechanisms for Donald Trump, because his life is at risk, like right now, like seriously at risk. And there's a fight going on almost every single day because some of the people up there are Joe Biden cronies and don't want to make Donald Trump look even more presidential with a greater detail. If Donald Trump were to be, and I say this with the greatest of regrets, were to be hurt or worse, I would be sad. I'd be destroyed. He's my guy. I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit. And the hilarious part about this whole thing is these goons in the media and their response. Some NBC reporter writes an article a week later, calls the Tucker and Dan Bongino, whatever, theory that Donald Trump could get hurt or worse during this election cycle because of security problems. He calls it what they call everything, a conspiracy theory. So when I reached out to him to back that up, I mean, he's a journalist, right? He blocked me on Twitter. He blocked me in his DMs. I asked him, please tell me who told you because I can tell you without giving up my sources, but giving up kind of the contours of it they're comfortable with, who told me. But you can't tell me shit. Nobody told him that. He just didn't want to make Donald Trump look like a martyr because he thought it was some positive narrative. So he wrote a hit piece on me claiming it was a conspiracy theory, and then cowardly, like a little chump, crawled into his little cave and blocked everyone on Twitter and wouldn't answer any emails. That's who they are. They don't give a damn that this guy could get hurt, but your question's a good one. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if something happened. Sad, but not surprised.
No, he really drives so many on the left insane. Millions of Americans earn and use credit card rewards. A few big box retailers want to take those rewards away. What the? That's according to the Electronics Payment Coalition, a sponsor of today's episode. Rewards that you may like to use on your groceries or your school supplies, cash back to save on your gas and to grow small businesses, whatever you use that cash back for, and travel miles to make memories. The so-called Credit Card Competition Act would eliminate credit card rewards. No more travel miles, no more cash back. Visit handsoffmyrewards.com to learn more. And if you want to help them, tell your legislator to stand up to the retail giants and to support consumers and small businesses. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.